Hello, today we're going to talk about proportional and non-proportional relationships. So the objective is to determine whether a relationship is proportional or non-proportional. So first let's talk about what that means. So two quantities are proportional if they have a constant ratio or unit rate. Okay, they have a constant ratio or unit rate, then it's proportional. For relationships in which the ratio is not constant, then it is not proportional. Okay? Ratios that have the same value are called equivalent ratios. We know what the word equivalent means. The equivalent means equal, right? So if the ratios or rates are equal, then we can say they are equivalent ratios. Okay, let's see how this connects to the real world. So it says Miss Cook is planning a year-end pizza party for her students. Ace Pizza offers free delivery and charges $8 per medium pizza. Complete the table to determine the cost for different numbers of pizzas ordered. So if we buy one pizza, the cost is $8 because again, it's $8 per pizza. If we buy two pizzas, well, 2 times 8 gives me 16. Okay, likewise, if we buy 3 pizzas, 3 times 8 is 24. If we buy 4 pizzas, 4 times 8 is 32. And if we buy 5 pizzas, 5 times 8 is 40. Next, it says for each number of pizzas, fill in the boxes to write the relationship of the cost and number of pizzas as a ratio in simplest form. Okay, so we're given 16 over 2. We have to fill in this empty box right here. So we're still talking about unit rates, right? So 16 divided by 2 gives me 8, 8 over 1. Next, we're going to set up this one, 24 over 3. Well, if we simplify that, 24 divided by 3 is 8, so we have 8 over 1. Down here, 32 over, well, we're going to put 4 down here. 32 over 4 simplifies to 8 over 1. And finally, we have something over 5, and we see what goes with 5, which is 40. 40 over 5 is 8 over 1. And we set it up like this because what was in the numerator? Money. And what was in the denominator? Pizzas. So remember, money always goes on top here. Okay, last it's asking us, what do we notice about the simplified ratios? So the simplified ratios are here. What do we notice about them? They are equivalent. They're equivalent, which means they're equal. Okay, so in this case, since all of these ratios are 8 over 1, 8 over 1, we would say that this relationship is sorry, this is a long word to spell. So we would say that it is proportional because all of the unit rates are the same. If they were different, then we would say it was non-proportional. Okay, let's look at the following ratios. We have 60 miles per hour, 120 miles per hour, 190 miles per hour. So which ratio is a unit rate? And explain. So we have 60 miles over 1 hour. That one is a unit ratio. Explain why is it a unit ratio? There is a 1 in the denominator. Sorry, there's really long words to spell in this chapter. So there's a 1 in the denominator. That's how we know it's a unit rate. Next question. If a driver travels 120 miles in 2 hours, is the average speed 60 miles per hour? So we can set this up here as 120 miles over 2 hours. If you see it like this, it might make a little bit more sense. So is the average speed 60 miles per hour? So when we divide this 120 miles over 2 hours, we get 60 miles in 1 hour. Okay, so yes, the average speed is 60 miles per hour because again, we just showed here when we simplify, they are equal. Okay, 120 divided by 2 is 60. And last we have, if a driver travels 190 miles in 3 hours, is the average speed 60 miles per hour? Explain. So let's set it up like this again, 190 miles in 3 hours. Is the average speed 60 miles per hour? Well, we have to divide these 190 divided by 3. So you got to be careful here. Let's go to our calculator and let's divide 190 divided by 3. We get 63.3 repeating. So it's equal to 63.3 repeating miles per 1 hour. So is the average speed 60 miles per hour? No. What is it? It's 63.3 miles per hour. Okay, so this example, the relationship between these three ratios, this would be, we would say this is non-proportional. Why? Because the unit rates are not all the same. We have 60 miles per hour, 60 miles per hour. Those are the same, but they all have to be the same in order for it to be proportional. This last one is not 60 miles an hour, so therefore it is not proportional. Okay, we're going to get into some more examples. Number 1 says Andrew earns $18 per hour for mowing lawns. Is the amount of money he earns proportional to the number of hours he spends mowing? So remember, if you have a constant unit rate, then it is proportional. If you do not have a constant unit rate, then it is not proportional. So we have to set up unit rates here, okay? Money goes on top, time goes on bottom. So the first one, we have 18 over 1 hour. Okay, we don't have to do anything there because it's already a unit rate. You can't simplify it anymore. Let's look at the next one, $36 in 2 hours. Let's simplify that. And you know what? Use your calculator each and every time just to be sure. 36 divided by 2 gives me 18. So I have $18 per hour. So far, we have the same unit rate here. Okay, let's keep it moving. 54 and 3. So that means $54 in 3 hours. Well, let's see how much money per hour that is. So 54 divided by 3 in my calculator, I get 18. So 18 over 1. So far, again, all of my unit rates are the same. Now let's do this last one of 72 over 4. So I have $72 in 4 hours. I have to set that equal to how much money for 1 hour? Well, we're going to do 72 divided by 4. And I get 18 again. So the question, is the amount of money proportional? Is it proportional? Remember, it is proportional if all of the unit rates are the same. So here's one unit rate, another unit rate, a third unit rate, and a fourth unit rate. Do you notice that they're all $18 per hour? Since they are all the same, then this does show a proportional relationship. And it says to explain. So we can say proportional because all the unit rates are equal. Okay? So it's proportional because all of the unit rates are equal. Don't forget, you should be copying this down on your copy of the Jamboard. Okay, let's look at number 2. Uptown Tickets charges $7 per baseball game ticket plus a $3 processing fee per order. Is the cost of an order proportional to the number of tickets ordered? So let's look at the chart. We have the cost up top and the tickets ordered on bottom. So if we ordered one ticket, it would be $10. Why was it $10? Because it's $7 per ticket and that $3 processing fee. So remember, a fee is just paid once. You're just going to pay that fee per order. So for 2 tickets, 2 times 7 gives me 14, plus that $3 processing fee is how we get to 17. Okay, and that's how we fill out the rest of this chart as well. Okay, but don't forget that processing fee is just paid once. Okay, so now we must figure out if this is proportional or not. So money always goes on top. So we're going to begin by looking at this $10 for one ticket. So I'm just going to write that 10 over 1. I'll put a T for tickets. That's already a unit rate, so I can move on to my next one. I have $17 for 2 tickets. So $17 for 2 tickets. Well, how much money for one ticket? So we're going to go to our calculator and do 17 divided by 2. And we get 8.5. So coming back here, 8.5, right away I notice that I have one unit rate of $10 per ticket, and I have a second unit rate of $8.50 per ticket. Are these the same unit rates? No, they are not. So if it's not proportional, then you have unit rates that are not equal. So it doesn't matter if they're all the same, but one is different. As long as there's that one that's different, then it's not proportional. So I don't have to show any more work here. I don't have to do 24 divided by 3 and 31 divided by 4 because I already showed that there's one different one. Okay, so what I can do here is it's asking, is it proportional? And explain. We're going to say non-proportional because the unit rates are not all the same. Okay. Again, you should be copying this down. I want to just look back to number 1 though. Notice how I had to do every single one. I did each of these 4, right? I found 4 unit rates. When it is proportional, you have to show me all of the unit rates are equal. So you have to do it 4 times here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. But here, as long as one is different, you don't have to show me all of them. Okay, as soon as you get that different one, you can stop and you can say it's not proportional because the unit rates are not all the same. Okay, moving on to number 3. Let me zoom in a little bit. It says you can use the recipe shown to make a fruit punch. Is the amount of sugar used proportional to the amount of mix used? So we see we have a half a cup of sugar. We need 1 envelope of milk. 1 cup of sugar. We need 2 envelopes of milk and mix. Why am I saying milk? That would be a really weird fruit punch. Mix. Half a cup of sugar to 1 envelope of mix. So we have to see if this is proportional or not. Since we don't have like time or money to know which one goes on top, which one goes on bottom, when we have these, you could typically put what's up top here in the numerator, and then here you could put in the denominator. Okay, so we can say half a cup of sugar for 1 envelope of mix. So we want to make sure we have that 1 in the denominator. Okay, since that one already has a 1 in the denominator, we can move on to the next one. 1 cup of sugar to 2 envelopes of mix. So 1 cup over 2 envelopes, right? So 1 divided by 2, I know this one seems a little weird, but 1 divided by 2 gives us 0.5 or 1/2. So this is the same as 1/2 cups for 1 envelope. Okay, let's do the next one. We have 1.5 cups to 3 envelopes. So how many cups for 1 envelope here? Well, 1.5 divided by 3. So we're going to put in our calculator 1.5 divided by 3. We get that 0.5 again, which changes to 1/2 as a fraction. So far, do you notice how I keep on going? Because so far, we have 1/2 over 1, 1/2 over 1, 1/2 over 1. That's why I'm keeping on going, because they're all the same. Now I got to do this last one, 2 over 4. So 2 cups to 4 envelopes. Well, let's put that in our calculator. 2 divided by 4 gives me that 0.5 or 1/2. So I get 1/2 cups over 1 envelope. So what do we notice? 1/2 over 1, 1/2 over 1, 1/2 over 1, 1/2 over 1. So is this proportional or non-proportional? And explain. Since they are all the same, we will say it is proportional. Okay, proportional because all the unit rates are the same. Okay, again, if one of them was different, then it would be non-proportional, but here they are all the same, so it is proportional. Okay, we're going to do one more problem, and this will be the last one that we do. So it says, at the beginning of the year, Isabel had $120 in the bank. Each week, she deposits another $20. Is her account balance proportional to the number of weeks of deposits? Use the table below and explain your reasoning. So the first week, we'll say this is where she started. Okay, she started at week 1. Oops, I always do that. So she had $120 in the bank already. So first, starting off in week 1, she had $120. But then she deposits another $20 each week. Okay, so she starts off with 120, and then every week after that, she adds 20 to her account. So after 2 weeks, well, she adds 20 to this, so she has 140. Another week goes by, she adds 20 more dollars into her account, and she has 160 now. Okay, so that's how we would fill in the table. Now we have to do some unit rates, right? So we do have money. We know money always goes on top, right? So we're going to look here first. So $120 in the first week. That is already a unit rate, so I can move on to the next one. I have $140 in 2 weeks. So let's divide. 140 divided by 2 gives me 70. So I have $70 over 1 week. So should I keep going or can I stop here? So I can stop here because 120 over 1, 70 over 1. When I see that they're different, can I say it's proportional or non-proportional? When they are different, it's non-proportional, right? All of the unit rates have to be the same in order for it to be proportional. When at least one is different, I can stop and I can say it's non-proportional because the unit rates are not all the same, or you can also say they're different, however you want to say it. As long as you get the point across that the unit rates are not the same. Okay, so like I said, this is where we're going to stop in the notes. Hopefully you've been copying down. If not, you need to start over and copy down these notes. We will continue with these notes on Tuesday. Remember, Monday we don't have any school. So we'll continue with this on Tuesday. And there is an assignment posted to practice this. So I want you guys, there's 4 problems. I just want you to focus on number 1 and number 2. Okay, so again, when you're done with this video, go back to Google Classroom and complete questions 1 and 2 on the practice. Let me know if you have any questions.